Well, howdy, 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 y'all. Teresa here, and just me and the critters right now. Let me give you a quick critter cam. I got two of them over here. Let me move my coffee out of the way. Got two of them over here on the couch with me. We got the Charlie right here. On Charlie, baby. Oh my goodness. I'm so tired, guys. Oh, I'm so tired. Right, I know. You loving the mama. Right. I know. And then we got mama right there. So, and Nixie is in the back. She likes to go in the back sometimes where it's nice and dark and quiet and she can sprawl out on the bed. And Angel is back there too. So, Brad is down showering. It is April 13th, 2017. It is a Thursday afternoon. It is 12:27. I thought I would come on here p.m. I thought I would come on here early. This marks 1 year since we left Wyoming today. Specifically around 3:30 this afternoon. So I'll be talking a little bit about that, of course. Let me do the weather here. It is 77 degrees, but real feel is 86. The high will be 82 and the low will be 60. And that's kind of pretty much how it's going to be. Abundant sunshine. I told you guys know yesterday we had errands to run. We went and had our China buffet that we love, and it's inexpensive and depending on what you eat, they're pretty healthy. I stay away from the fried stuff, and I don't go to any of the desserts or anything. Once in a while I'll get a little bit of tapioca pudding, yeah. I specifically love their beef and broccoli and their pepper chicken. They have a Mexican pork, which is really good, and I love their the shrimp and of course the stuffed mushrooms. And they have some sushi there too that's pretty good. But anyway, we did that, ran some errands, and got groceries, brought all that home, put all that away and stuff. And I showed you guys a few things that we had gotten. And what else? What did I do that evening? That evening we spent filling out a massive amount of paperwork for this new doctor. Holy moly. Well, first of all, we kind of got the run around. The gal that Brad talked to from his doctor office, it's also an urgent care clinic, and then he does have his own private patient. So she told us we had to, because we're with Blue Cross Blue Shield of Tennessee, because that's where Dollar General headquarters is at. So that's the kind of insurance we have, and we're really happy with the insurance so far, and it's not so extremely, I think it's $80 a week for the two of us for the insurance. But our just so far our prescriptions is paid that premium. So but anyway, she said that we had to call and have that through Blue Cross Blue Shield of Florida. So Brad was on the phone with the insurance company, which it turned out no, we don't have to, and they are in network and da. Anyway, stopped by, got the paperwork. I showed you guys that big thick packet. This is just because I like to reuse stuff whatever I can. You guys know I'm frugal. Instead of throwing away paperwork, if it's not double-sided printed on, I will take and cut it and make my own little notepads. So this is just the what I cut from the extra paperwork was explaining all of our rights and all of that. So, yeah. And so we sat and had to do that last night. Neither one of us wanted to, but you have to. I'm moving stuff because I bring out stuff from the bedroom that I'm going to use today. So I'm going to show you guys. I just one little hat done because we were that busy, and I started working on another one. So this is just a little infant hat with scrap yarn. So, and then I do have one that was almost finished, but I was getting too tired, and I've been working on getting my sleep pattern turned around. So I've been shutting it down when I'm tired instead of sitting there falling asleep looming, because that's kind of sad when you just wake yourself up. You done fell asleep while you was looming. But anyway, I'm working on this large adult right now. So that's kind of a pretty pattern, isn't it? So that's what I worked on. Like I said, we had to fill out all that paperwork, and Brad barbecued chicken outside, and he also grilled the corn on the cob. We just bought 2 ears, because that's all we needed. And then I made, you guys know the saga of the sausage. Never did find it. Don't think it made it home. But Brad already called Walmart, and they said, next time you're in, just let us know, and they'll, replace it or whatever. So, but I did have some other sausage in the freezer, so I made the cornbread stuffing that he likes, and yeah, so that was all good. And what else? Brad talked with our daughter, and I did too, some on the phone, so had a nice chit chat, and that was always nice. I went to call and talk with my friend Linda today for a bit. And what else? I want to do some painting today. That's what's on docket. I have no idea what I'm cooking for dinner. But I want to do some painting today, do some looming. I need to pick up in here, do some cleaning. Not the deep down cleaning, but just straighten up and stuff. My topic for today is going to be, of course, 1 year later, having left, Wyoming, and that makes 1 year living in the RV, and some of the things we've learned along the way, some of the crazy mishaps that happen along the way, so why don't we do the crazy mishap along the way? Okay, we left there. We had trouble getting help with moving stuff. We ended up giving away almost everything, and then even then still had to help move that stuff. And we no more than had pulled out of bar none and rounded one corner, and I kid you not, don't assume that your closet doors or your cabinet doors are magnetic enough that they're not going to come popping open rounding a corner, because we rounded the first corner. This closet was jam full, and everything started coming out. I'm trying to hold the closet. I'm telling Brad, he's got to pull over. Cabinets are open. Stuff is falling. Okay, so, we had that happen. We got lost. We, broke down. We, got lost. We went a large part of the way not knowing the heater was on full blast, and we're dying. The more you got southern, the more we're dying and stuff. And it wasn't until we're almost done with the trip that we realized that the heater had been turned, all the thermostat all the way, and that it kept running. The more we opened windows and tried to do the AC, the more the heater's running. So had that happen. We forgot stuff when we would stop, like the steps and that kind of stuff. What else? We were both terrified. We'd never had done such a big trip, and going into unknown waters. Met some really fabulous people along the way, some really nice people. Definitely had somebody looking out for us. And when we pulled in here and we got to the state of Florida and we're going down and stuff, and we knew that, we felt we had made the right decision. And being a year later, would I do it over again? Yes. Because sometimes if you think too much about all that could happen, all the bad things that could happen, you will talk yourself out of trying. And do I regret leaving Wyoming? No. The only thing I miss is I miss a few family members that we're close with, like my daughter and my grandkids. But other than that, yes, this is definitely the right decision. The only thing I miss about we always said we felt that house was kind of possessed with a negative vibe. And the only thing I miss about that is having a big backyard that was fenced for the dogs to run. It's been hard, not gonna lie, and there's times it still is hard. It was very hard, especially when we got down here and realized that so many of the websites were out of date, hadn't been updated, and things were somewhat different. We had good surprises and bad surprises, mainly more good than bad. It's beautiful. I'm still getting used to the heat because I am more of a, that's difficult for me, especially if you're a woman that's going through the hot flashes and stuff. But it sure is a lot better for Brad and stuff, and I can tolerate it. Love the greenery, love being able to garden year round. This RV park we lucked out. It's got a lot of really nice people in it, and it's safe. Made some friends, starting to make some friends, made some really great YouTube friends, and still making some. Once Brad got a job there at Dollar General, things have massively improved. And again, somebody was looking out for us because normally they only hire part-time unless you're a key holder, is what they call the assistant manager. It just so happened that they needed an assistant manager, and brought him on board, and then he got moved, so he's right under the manager. And he's slated to become a store manager here as soon as they have an opening. So that's all good. Yes, we're still in the RV. We're kind of waiting because my granddaughter's supposed to come this summer. Actually, there would be a lot more for her to do in this RV park than if we were living in a private house. And if we upgrade now and increase our expenditures, we're not going to have much money to maybe go do a few fun things. Living here too, she comes. There's the pool. There's the volleyball area, volleyball court. There's the shuffleboard. There's the pier to go fishing. There is the game room and stuff. There's usually other kids. Well, she'll be a teenager. She's 12 now. So there's a lot more for her to do, and for us to do. So we're waiting. And like I said, we just want to make sure we have enough money for everything. Because one thing is, we need to have, we need to get on board with having some tests and stuff run for the medical things. Nothing major, just some stuff that we need to, Brad needs to start getting some serious help for that back. We need to both get better help for the diabetes, then we both need to get our eyes checked and get new glasses, and he needs a lot of dental work done. So I would rather live here where it costs less than to overextend ourselves, And like I said, it's safe here, and I'm looking at the positive of, like right now, I can watch the tide coming in. I will probably never live on, basically, on a bay ever again, because anybody that has a private home in this area, of this right here on the bay is very expensive. And then the homeowner's insurance is just astronomical. So, I'm going to enjoy it for what it's worth. And, you can look at it negative or you can look at it positive. But I don't want to put some unnecessary pressure on my husband, about, we got to have this amount of money, because, he's doing the best he can. And you need down, sweetie? Okay. So, I have to lift the dachshund up and down because she's short and elderly. But, and I don't want her to hurt her back. But, so that's where we are on that. We've learned a lot of tips on living in an RV that really help, which you use every square inch of your RV. You don't, the nooks, the crannies, under stuff, between stuff, you use all available space, which is unlike living in a house where you kind of want to spread stuff out. Like this right here is the window shade for an automobile. We're using it up here, and I can tell you today, this RV is massively cooler than it was yesterday. That will help cut our electric bill. That will help keep it much cooler in here. So we bought 4 of them, and thank goodness that's what they had. They were each $3.47. And I used the hot glue gun and the Gorilla Glue sticks and some Velcro. I have one up on this other side. 'Cause right now I have this one drawn, extended out, because the sun's coming in on this side of the RV. Now this afternoon it'll be on the other side. And it's all about controlling, reflecting that heat away and stuff. And so doing that, you learn to compromise. You really got to work together living in an RV. You really got to work together. The biggest issue we have is trying to get around. You want back up, baby? Missy, you want back up? The biggest thing... No, my goodness. Are you okay? I know you will. The biggest thing... I love you too. Been my baby for 15 years. But the biggest thing is, like I said, working around the animals be a real challenge. Yes, we lost a dog and a cat, not because of the move or anything, just because of old age, and stuff. But let's see, that and cutting costs whichever way you can. Like, really check out your clearance aisle at Walmart. Now, the clearance aisles, they're normally going to have at least 2 clearance sections in a Walmart. And then if you're going into, okay, for example, you're going to clearance aisle that's usually, over by household goods, household repair goods. And this Walmart puts a lot of their paper products there. Like if they have a pack of toilet paper that got, split open, and they taped it. Well, they're going to mark it down like half price. So, I'm definitely going to do that. But really watch that. And the week before that, we got a big pack of toilet paper marked down. You're going, like I said, you're going to utilize all the space that you can. You're not going to buy I still buy some in bulk, but not in some things in bulk. I don't buy meat in bulk now because, this is a standard, a little bit bigger of an RV fridge than some of the units, but still. Other cost-cutting things is don't leave your hot water heater going all the time. You don't need to. You're not using your hot water heater 24/7. When it's hooked up to a propane tank and stuff, we turn it on just when we want and need hot water. Living in an RV park, it's cheaper to go down and take a shower down at the bathhouse. You don't have to use your propane to heat up water. Um, you know, uh, and and like I said, for dishes and stuff, that's what we do, or else we'll just heat up enough water in the microwave. What else? Making use of the space you have. Now we're just a standard RVer where we stay put. We're not traveling from spot to spot, so we utilize and kind of make home, outside too, like the other full-time RVers do. If you're doing this and like that, you're going to meet a lot of really interesting people coming through, and there's a lot of interesting stories, and a lot of heartbreaking stories, and a lot of, inspiring stories, and you just kind of go with that. Like I said, yes, I would do it over again. I feel like now, instead of complaining about it, I'm like, this is an adventure, and this is just where we're supposed to be right now, because life is all a big journey with different twists and turns. I can tell you, I've created more artwork since we've been here than I have in many years in Wyoming. Apart from when I was in college. And like I said, I didn't start switching my major over into art until I was in my 40s. So, but yeah, we're just making do with what. I'm very glad that we're out of Wyoming, and we had basically what I felt like was really a kind of a bullying situation with some family members that was going on that, should not have been going on and was just fucking ridiculous. And, Brad's much happier. He's much happier with the job. Being a car salesman was not the job for him. He's too honest. And I'm not saying all car salespeople are dishonest, but there's a lot of them that are. And, he's not having to work, over 12 hours a day and not getting pay and stuff. I'm much happier. I feel accepted. I don't feel as looked down upon. I still will always suffer with self-esteem issues, but, as you get older, I think it gets better, too, because you don't worry as much about how you look as we age and stuff. I mean, you still want to look presentable and stuff, but you don't worry about having the perfect body or, anything like that. My journey is different. I've already had my children, and that factory's been shut down, and, yeah, so... But, the dogs are happy. They enjoy going for walks and everything, and being with me and stuff. And Charlie's the biggest baby ever. But, yeah, it's all good. I would definitely do it again. If anybody's thinking about doing this, you're always free to email me or, write me a comment or friend request me on Facebook. My name is Teresa Heide. It's Heidi with an E at the end and Teresa with an H. And just tell me you're from YouTube. And we can always talk there. I definitely think I have some tips on how to keep surviving long-term in an RV, like covering your furniture with sheets, especially if you have animals, because that helps with the wear and tear on your furniture as well. And, the very small stick vacuums and, really condensing down what you have and stuff. Because we all end up with too much crap, frankly. We left a great big house. It was 2,500 square feet. And we left it, and we had so much over accumulation of stuff that, it was just sickening. And, really paring stuff down and having less, but actually using what you have and knowing what you have is the wonderful thing. I've even done that with my art supply. Because, paint does go bad, so you might as well use what you have. Charlie, stop. So, no. Like that, I'm not really into oil painting. So I said, no, Nixie, I sent all of my oil paint to my daughter. I'm using my watercolor up and, using my acrylic, of course, and, really scaling down what tools I actually like. Because what happens is if you're in, Nixie, if your major is art, like in college, or maybe you just have bought a lot of art supplies, and you're trying different things, and then over the course of time you find out what you like. Like, I'm not really into pastels, or chalks. I'm really not. I find them messy and everything, but you have to try all that out. So anyway, here we are a year later, and I know that over time Brad will get his promotion, then we're able to save up the money, and we're able to either rent or buy, a house and go from there. But, life is what you make of it. My wonderful friend and neighbor who lives right next to us is really battling for her life. And it's hard because you think just 6 months ago we were having fun and everything, and here she is. And it's so tragic. Life is very frail. You got to reach out and embrace the moment and never be too busy to reach out to somebody and say, hey, how are you and stuff. And, I know I fail at that sometimes too. But it doesn't take much to just say, hey, how are you, or anything. Unless you kind of got red flags going up about a person, then just listen to your instinct. Okay, well, I'm going to get off here, and remember that I love you guys, and I do cherish your friendship so much, and I think you guys are awesome, and I hope you have a great day. Talk to you later. Bye.